What's going on, bro, and welcome to the video. Matt here. Today I want to talk to you about 5 insecure behaviors that confident men don't do. With that being said, let's get this video rolling. So look, we all have insecurities, myself included. And even the most confident person that you might see at work, you might see at the gym, you might see at the bar, they have some kind of insecurity about them. Now look, we all deal with our insecurities in different ways, but in this video I want to touch on 5 common things that most of us have had to deal with in one way or another. Instead of trying to get past these insecurities, oftentimes we find ourselves indulging in these. It's only going to make us feel more insecure. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into number 1, complaining. So whenever we're complaining, what we're doing is rejecting what the current reality is. So take, for example, maybe I just broke my ankle. Now it sucks and you could sit and complain. Maybe you're not going to be able to go to work, or maybe you're not going to be able to work out, or maybe you're not going to be able to engage in the activities that you would normally engage in. Now, by only focusing on the negative and complaining about the situation, I'm training my mind to key in on the negative rather than focus on anything else that I might be able to do. And what it's going to do is it's going to kind of turn off everyone that's around you. Maybe you're hanging out with a buddy, or maybe you're hanging out with a girl that you're seeing or trying to hook up with. If you sit around and just talk about your ankle and all the negativity in it, they're not really going to want to hang out with you. So the internal effect of this is going to be negative, and it kind of stops you from moving forward and taking control of your life and doing the things that you can do. And on the external side of this, you got to think about it. Do you like when people come and complain to you? Probably not. It sucks. It's going to be a turnoff, and people are just, they're not going to like you more for it. All right, let's jump down to number 2, and that is explaining yourself. Now, when you say something that's not met with immediate praise, like for example, you tell your friends, hey, let's go to this restaurant. Or maybe you're talking to a girl and you're trying to explain what it is that you do. Now, oftentimes, if this isn't met with immediate praise, we default into trying to overly explain ourselves. For example, you're going to say like, I really love this job because of X, Y, and Z, or maybe I really like this restaurant because they have awesome burgers, and feel like you have to go into more detail. When you're overly explaining yourself, it's going to come across as not confident and kind of weak, and it's going to appear like you don't really have the confidence in the decision that you made or something that you might have said. And then you find yourself trying to defend yourself and prove yourself to the person that you're talking to. I think that just goes without saying that's an insecure behavior, and you're doing it purely out of insecurity. All right, so we're going to get in the house and then we'll get into number 3. All right, so number 3 on the list is apologizing. Now this excludes apologizing for legitimate reasons. So if you just randomly sock somebody in the face or, punch them in the nose, something like this might warrant an apology. The truth is, guys these days, they apologize for everything. They apologize instead of saying excuse me when they bump into somebody on the sidewalk. They'll often apologize for when they say something that's not met with immediate praise. Ultimately, they just shower everyone with apologies. And A, it makes you look weak. And B, it looks like you're seeking permission and approval from everyone. And again, in your brain, this is going to kind of ingrain the mindset of weakness. All right, let's get into number 4, and that is making excuses. This is essentially something where you're not taking responsibility for something. So maybe you're not doing as good as you would like to do with the women. And this is when you start making excuses. Maybe it's the excuse of why you're not going to approach a girl. Oh, well, maybe she has a boyfriend. Or you use, maybe the time's not right. I'm not feeling really confident right now. Or maybe it's in your career. You haven't quit your job yet, so you can move on and do the job that you actually really want to do. And you're making excuses for that. Oh, I'm not ready for it. I don't have the experience yet for it. Whatever the excuses are that you're making for something that maybe you haven't done yet or something that you've done wrong, it's basically just a cop-out. You giving yourself excuses so you don't have to do what it is that you truly want to do. And this is rather than manning up and taking responsibility for your own actions and your own failures and your own successes and moving forward with your life. All right, so I'm going to get back outside and we're going to get you point number 5. Let's do around the world. All right, so the 5th and final point, bragging. So let's be honest, bragging is kind of the quickest way to turn somebody off. Look, when you meet somebody new, you got to think about it. You're going to sit there and brag and try to build yourself up. This person's not going to take all that information and be like, oh, this guy's really awesome for all the things that he's done. It's going to have the reverse effect, and honestly, they're going to be pushed away from that. What we have to remember is the way to seem interesting to other people is to take a genuine interest in them. And bragging is doing the very opposite of this. Essentially, you're just sitting there talking about yourself instead of trying to inquire about them. Now, the more that you inquire about a person, or the more that you seem like you're interested in them, asking questions of what they like to do and what made them choose those kind of decisions, when you start doing that, they're going to start reciprocating, and that's when you're going to start building rapport. Now, those are the 5 things I have for you today. On one side of it, it's kind of the internal, where you're seeking validation, you're seeking approval. On the other side of this, they're all behaviors that kind of turn people off. Now, I hope that all made sense. If so, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because I drop 2 new videos every Monday and every Thursday, plus numerous shorts all throughout the week that you do not want to miss. And I know I'm going to see you in the next video, but until then, remember this. Keep getting the gains to make the growth and level up your life. You got this, bro.